They will be called oaks of righteousness on display for his splendor.
Let So, oh, this might be too loud. Here's the cool thing about this, is this actually isn't like something that I can do on my own, so it's like God has to show up, which can kind of be a cool thing. Like sometimes we think that we should only do what we're gifted with, what God has called us to, and just don't do anything else, but just do, and it's like, well, what about when God called Moses, and Moses was like, I can't even speak, and God's like, well, I'll be your mouth. What if I told you fear is the most widely accepted sin? Because at the root it says, my God isn't big enough to win. So let me begin. God can win every single time. When you're feeling bad or when you're feeling sublime. When you've done good or when you've committed a crime. Don't let fear rule you. God can win when you got to get on stage. When you're feeling happy, when you're in a rage. When you're feeling free, you feel like you're in a cage. So don't let fear rule you. Fear can be like a spider on the wall. And if you don't squish it, the bigger it gets, and then you'll fall. So rise up and take on fear, and don't let it control you. You know, fear's an interesting thing, because it's like, fear tries to tell you that if you listen to me, I'll take you where you want to go. You got all these dreams in your heart, and I'll take you to the big show. But the reality is fear doesn't actually get you there. It sets up all these false boundaries and lies about yourself, and it'll get you chasing the wrong things like wealth. But God sets up boundaries for you to focus on what's inside so that you can have joy while you're on the ride. And He'll be beside you. And He'll bring you joy. Like a kid when he gets a brand new toy. Or like a mom when she hears she's got a baby boy. So like I said, this isn't that much of a gift of my own. But I got to give all honor to the throne, because He's down in my soul to the very bone. And I know it sounds like I've been up here and I'm starting to drone, but I'm just getting in the zone. Sorry, some of you people are like, I got to moan. That's pretty lame. But let me spin my game, all right? Maybe I won't have fame. Maybe I am lame. But you know my name. Come on now. I'll tell you what, pretty soon I'll be rapping with Quavis Walker. He's more of a rapper, I'm more of a talker. Some might say like a chicken, I'm a balker. But at least you can call me kind of like Quavis Walker. All right, well, at the end of the day, don't let fear rule your life. Whether it's about becoming all you're meant to be, or maybe finding your wife. Because that stuff will cut into you like a knife, and you'll have to think twice before you get to live your real life. Thanks. To a shop, and in less than 28 hours, I had the truck back home and in my driveway. The amazing thing is, throughout that whole situation, I never lost my peace. I never lost my peace, even when the axle crashed on the ground, even when I couldn't find the tire. Because here's the thing, God had told me to get that truck. That truck was God's now. When you come into a place where you trust, it makes it a low-hanging fruit. It made peace, which in a situation like that would seem so unattainable. How can you have peace? You're stuck on the middle of Ridge Road, it's a snowstorm, you just lost your wheels, it's a brand new truck, like what are you going to do? And yet, because I trusted, because God told me, this truck is for you. Peace was right there. And I didn't have to compromise. So I want to encourage you guys that life brings a lot of wild situations. A ton of them. I don't know half your situations. I'm sure you've gone through crazier stuff than that. But God is always good. He never authors the evil, and He always turns it around for good. I'm going to go ahead and open us up in prayer now.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through Him all things were made. Without Him nothing was made that has been made. In Him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. There was a man sent from God, whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light, so that through him all might believe. He himself was not the light. He came only as a witness to the light. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision or a husband's will, but born of God. John 1, verses 1 through 13, New International Version. Now this was John's testimony when the Jewish leaders in Jerusalem sent priests and Levites to ask him who he was. He did not fail to confess, but he confessed freely, "I am not the Messiah." They asked him, "Then who are you? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" He answered, "No." Finally they said, "Who are you? Give us an answer to take back to those who sent us. What do you say about yourself?" John replied in the words of Isaiah the prophet, "I am the voice of one calling in the wilderness, make straight the way for the Lord." Now the Pharisees who had been sent questioned him, "Why then do you baptize, if you are not the Messiah, nor Elijah, nor the prophet?" "I baptize with water," John replied, "but among you stands one you do not know. He is the one who comes after me, the straps of whose sandals I am not worthy to untie." John 1, verses 19 through 27, New International Version. The next day Jesus decided to leave for Galilee. Finding Philip, he said to him, "Follow me." Philip, like Andrew and Peter, was from the town of Bethesda. Philip found Nathanael and told him, "We have found the one Moses wrote about in the law, and about whom the prophets also wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph." "Nazareth? Can anything good come from there?" Nathanael asked. "Come and see," said Philip. When Jesus saw Nathanael approaching, he said of him, "Here truly is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit." "How do you know me?" Nathanael asked. Jesus answered, "I saw you while you were still under the fig tree before Philip called you." Then Nathanael declared, "Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel." Jesus said, "You believe because I told you, I saw you under the fig tree. You will see greater things than that." He then added, "Very truly I tell you, you will see heaven open, and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man. John 1 verses 43 through 51, New International Version.
Second Corinthians 5:17. This means that everyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. The old life is gone, a new life has begun.